there is one book that you really need to read in order to basically change your perspective, then I recommend this book. It's called Man's Search for the Meaning by Viktor Frankl, or Frankl. The reason why it's really important, it might change your life basically forever, and it might change your perspective about life, because it's written by someone who survived concentration camp by the Nazis, and he's a psychologist. So what he did is that he kind of wrote his experience in concentration camp subjectively, which is a very difficult thing to do, because it's almost impossible if you are the victim who is writing a thesis about the other victims who faced same kind of difficulties. For example, he was a Holocaust survivor, but he was writing almost like an academic thesis on psychological point of view of the survivor and how they survived, how they adopted this environment, horrible environment. And he didn't really write a book, like emotional book, which is, or he said himself that it's been written many times, and he didn't want to do the same thing all over again. He wanted to write it from a scientific, psychologist point of view, which is a very difficult job. The reason why it impacted my life is because, think about it. When somebody goes through potentially the most horrible, dangerous, and humiliating period of their life, they started to ask about what is the point of living, what is the meaning of this life, why I'm still alive, for example. What is the point? And also he talks about the logotherapy. Logotherapy is a form of psychotherapy that emphasizes the search for the meaning of life. Now, I wrote a note so that I don't make a mistake. The book highlights the importance of finding meaning even in the most challenging and the painful circumstances, and how this can help individuals maintain a sense of purpose, resilience, and hope, all that. And it also explores the human capacity for resilience and adaptation, and the power of hope and positive thinking in overcoming adversity. Now, I'll give you an example. For example, I was born in Bangladesh, which was very poor, and I went through many difficult period of my life, but not just there. And then there is another difficult period of my life when I went through a chronic depression because of my own bad habit. And I recovered that. And time to time, over and over again, I did ask myself question, why I'm still alive though? Like, what I'm providing to the society, to my family, or to myself? And this kind of question can be very dangerous, because if you don't have the proper answer, it might take you to potentially in a deep depression. And he talks about that in the book by providing the example of the Holocaust survivor and what were they thinking, and a lot more to that. I'm not going to go to the details and give you the spoiler, but I highly recommend you to this small book. By the way, it's a very small book. You can actually finish the book in less than a week, and if you read for the whole day, you can finish it even in a day. You can spend a weekend, you can finish it, you can take notes, and you can learn a significant amount of information that might change your point of view. It can help you to adopt a very difficult situation. And one thing I learned is that, which is a little bit of spoiler, not really spoiler, but something that I think that I should share it right now. Those who ever going through bad period in their life, which is, you cannot control your environment. You cannot control really what is going on around you. Not too much. Not much as much as we love to think about it, but it's almost impossible. However, only control that you have in your life, it's inside you. It's your brain and your mind. That nobody can control. That's up to you. That's how all the Holocaust survivors survived, those who ever survived, not many of them, because they realized that I got nothing to lose and it cannot make me scared because I got nothing to lose. So that kept them going over and over again. After that, he analyzes about after, when you go through a horrible period of your life, when you come back to a normal life, what happens then? How you take this normal life? Are you still happy though? Are you? Do you have questions still, etc., etc.? In brief, I highly recommend you to read this book. I highly recommend you to, even if you're going through a good time of your life, it can put you back on earth, thinking that be careful, why you should actually take your life seriously. Don't take it for granted. And if you're going through a hard period of your life, it will teach you so many things. And I'm going to insist something, that there are a lot of psychologists or experts or any kind of philosophers can give you phenomenal advices. True, you should listen to them. But this advice, this scientific analysis is been given by somebody who himself went through one of the worst period of the history of human. That I would listen more than anybody else. I would personally listen to someone who went through that problem himself, because nobody can give a better advice than somebody actually went through trouble. I can give you a lot of good advices, I believe, on poverty and how to overcome that. I can give you a lot of good advices on how to overcome bad addiction, horrible addiction, and then come back to a normal life and then live a life that you deserve. So he went through one of those, plus he's an expert on this field. So again, I think I repeated many times, but I'm repeating you now because I cannot insist enough. Read this book. It will potentially change your life. I highly recommend you. And if you're going through a hard life, know that you are not alone. Life is difficult. It sucks. However, there are still hopes, and much better hope than you can actually imagine. And I'm very optimistic, and I'm very much optimistic for you too. Look after yourself, and bye-bye.